Hello, today I am going to show how to chart a pattern for a plain hem hat. So this sort of hat where the hem is plain, it's not ribbed and it's folded. That's what we're going to chart a pattern for. Welcome to the house of Kinis Fashion, where we love all things knitting and crochet and sewing, but mostly knitting. And this is the beginners introduction to knitting pattern series, and we're beginning with this plain hem hat. So let's dive in. So the first thing to do when you want to create a pattern is draw the shape of the item you want to knit, and for most hats they are rectangular in shape. Admittedly, some hats are sort of triangular at the top, but for simple hats you need a rectangle, and you need two measurements. You need the hat width and you need the hat height, and you can get these measurements from hat sizing charts. I have a free size guide and it contains a head size chart. You can find a link to the free size guide in the description. So I'm going to be charting a pattern for a 3 to 6 month old. So the hat width for a 3 to 6 month old is 14 inches and the height is 6.25 inches. So we're going to be putting these on the rectangle. So 14 inches for the width of the hat and 6.25 inches for the height of the hat. And now I've demarcated my hat into two sections. So I've got the hem here and the body of the hat over here, and the hem is 1 inch tall or long and if you take that away from 6.25, which we had previously, that's going to leave you with 5.25 inches. Okay, and I'm taking it a step further and adding on the part of the hem that's going to be folded under. So because this hem is a folded hem, we need to knit double the length of the hem. So since our hem is 1 inch, we need to knit another 1 inch, which we will fold under. So that's what's indicated here, the 1 inch part that will be folded under. If we do not fold it under, our hem will roll, it will curl, and the hat we will have will not be a plain folded hem hat, it will be a rolled hem hat. So these are the measurements that we need for the hat: 14 inches wide, then 1 inch for the fold, 1 inch for the front of the hem, and 5.25 inches for the body of the hat. Now bear in mind that this pattern we are creating is for a close fitting hat. It's going to fit close to the head. If we wanted a slouchy hat, we would add to the hat height, we would make it longer, and would add to the hat width after the hem to make it slightly wider around the head. Okay, and so the next step is to choose a pattern for our hat. When I say pattern, I mean we could knit the hat in a Fair Isle pattern, or a tuck stitch pattern, or a skip stitch pattern, or even a lace pattern. So we need to decide on that and then choose a tension that we wish to knit the hat at, and then knit a sample swatch. And the reason for this is so that we can get an accurate gauge to knit our hat with. If you'd like to know more about what gauge is and how to knit a swatch for your gauge and how to determine your gauge, please see the description. You'll find a link to a tutorial for how to determine your gauge, and it even has a free gauge calculator. Sorry, it's not free actually, it has a gauge calculator that's very affordable. If you don't like the knitting maths that you need to do to get your gauge, you can get the gauge calculator. All right, okay, so I knit a plain white fabric for this hat, and I used Yeye yarn. It's a Nigerian brand, and I knit at tension 6, and my gauge for my sample was 12 rows in an inch and 7 stitches in an inch. So if we apply the gauge to our measurements in inches, it will give us the following stitches and rows. So 14 inches will have 98 stitches to start our hat, and an inch is 12 rows, and 5.25 inches is 63 rows. So now we have completed this pattern. We know the number of stitches and rows we should knit, and we are ready to start knitting. So the last stage is to put all the information that you needed to create this pattern on a page, so that when you need to knit this hat again, you have all your information right there in front of you, and you do not have to start from scratch the next time.